this business about color, I raised it in one of the segments in this program. Is it important to worry about and argue about this issue of color and what color the Egyptians were?
Egyptians had no special color. They were Africans, light skin, dark skin, black, brown. You've got to understand that at the time of the early Egyptians, there were no Greeks yet, and there were no Romans. The Greeks and the Romans did not come until about 1000 BC. The Hebrews did not come in until the Egyptians were already in the 13th dynastic period. It was strictly an African culture.
Speaking about knowledge, you mentioned that the 10 Commandments, when we were in Egypt, you mentioned that the 10 Commandments that we are aware of are derived from 42 commandments that carry another name, the negative confessions.
Or admonitions to Goddess Ma'at.
I see.
And they're thousands of years older than the so-called 10 Commandments. You see,
we have some visuals that are on the that you took on the wall. There it is.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Those are the negative confessions.
Those are the some of the 42 negative confessions.
Now, when you say negative confessions, that means...
Because they start in negative. Hail Ma'at, I have not killed man or woman. Hail Ma'at, I have not made light thy bushel. Hail Ma'at, I have not spoken ill of the God.
So these are...
These would be the English version
I have not, as opposed to thou shalt
not.
Professor Joseph Ben Yakinen is an Egyptologist, having taught at Cornell University for over 15 years. Dr. Ben, as he is affectionately known, has lectured widely on both sides of the Atlantic. His theme, the ancient civilizations of Egypt. His presentations have placed him in great demand by students and community groups, especially those of African descent. Perhaps the high regard he enjoys today stems from his long, unwavering theme that the ancient civilizations along the Nile were African.
And so you're saying then that the people of Central Africa migrated north up along this river?
Yes, I'm saying that the original high culture, where the people first start to make scratches, symbols, writing down, hieratic and so forth, finally develop into alphabetical presentations, mathematical signs, religious signs and symbols and so forth. They actually had their beginning in Central East Africa. What it has here, what it is saying to the world, it relieved people from a religious bondage, religious slavery. If people knew what was here, they could see all the lies being told to them. They will see the reality and truth about religion. They see the love that the ancients did when they started this. They will see that, for instance, the Virgin Mary concept of Immaculate Conception is nothing new. And they were dealing with the human condition. And the whole thing based upon a God, especially a Unitarian God. One God came from here, not from Rome, not from England, London, not from Greece, Athens. It came from here. Whether you're Jewish, Christian, Muslim, or what, you got the basis of what your religion is here along the Nile. The whole world must look to Egypt. The entire world, bar not a single country, every high culture must come here for the beginning of what they are. I don't care if it's Jewish, if you're Christian, or you're Muslim, if you're Greek, or you're Roman. You must come here. If you're talking about Abraham, you're talking about Moses, they were here. Moses they said was born here in a place called Goshen. Abraham came here and received his education. He had no education before he came here. All of them came here. The whole thing about the 10 Commandments came out of the 42 negative confessions.
Dr. Ben is teaching reverse racism.
They call it what they want. I don't mind what they call it. The fact is, if a teacher come here and prove me wrong, I'll go anywhere they got and show them what they wrote, where it came from, and carry them to where it comes for them to see it. The point is, my evidence still exists. They can't show me Adam and Eve, but I could show them Osiris.
How big is this pyramid that we're on? Which pyramid are we on now?
This is what we are, the one of Khufu, which the Greeks called Cheops. This is 48 stories tall. About a story, let's say, from one floor to the next floor, 10 feet. So you got 48 times 10, 480 foot tall. Now, the metal you see on the top there, showing you where the end of the capstone was originally, before it was removed. So it will be fought. But then the building goes down into the ground. What you see there is the earth surface, earth level. But below there you got another 2 stories down, where you got cutways, walkways, tunnels, and so forth. And recent sounding, they have voids that they believe to be other rooms or whatever, chambers or so forth. Now, downstairs you have beautiful work, the friezes and so forth that tells various things that the average person knows here on the outside. But it's about 3.5 city blocks. 3 times 200 plus a fraction, 640 feet.
Each leg is 3.5 city blocks.
Roughly square. A square was 640 feet. You got about 2 million blocks in this building. About 2 million.
How much do they estimate each one of these blocks of granite? This is granite?
No. This is limestone.
How did they bring that stone all the way from...
And barges, and floating barges. Quite recently they found the area where they dock, like a wharf, harbor, where they were able to come off the Nile and come up into this area and bring the stone. It was easy then, because remember, you have about 300,000-400,000 people not working during the inundation period, the flood period. All of these monuments, wherever you go, are built in highland, above the flood level. So when the flood comes, these workers, these farmers have nothing to do. They have this.
So it's not this myth about slave labor?
Nonsense. Slave labor is nonsense. Pure, mitigated nonsense. These men were not guessing. They knew definitely what they were about to do.
Is it true that each corner of this pyramid represents dead north, south, east, and west?
It's on target, as I said. The most modern engineering, geological, geosophical instruments cannot do this.
Now there are 3 here that are right alongside one another.
Father, son, and grandson.
I see.
The father is one Khufu, the son, the one behind this, Afra, and the grandson, the last one, Menkara.
Well, now, that high point that you were standing at, as you looked at it, which is which?
There's a little trick here. You can't build a pyramid bigger than your father's or higher. So what Khafra did is build a pyramid smaller than his father's, but on higher ground. And you see, God best. This was originally the original God of the Nile, God of the life, because the life was life source. Now you see Bess playing every instrument there is. The harp, which you thought was a European instrument. Here is God bless playing the tambourine. Here. Here is God bless playing the flute and like an oboe. Here is over there playing in the form of a monkey, playing what Farouk called the electric guitar. Here is it. Look at like any electric. Here he is playing a bassoon. Here, you see me? He's playing all the major instruments that you thought were European.